you may notice we're one sister shy.
We're supposed to say welcome back to Sticks and Strings.
Well, yeah. Welcome back to Sticks and Strings. I'm Beth.
I'm Eve.
And Naomi's not here.
She's here in spirit.
Yeah, we're going to be trying to, if we're successful, we'll be attaching her. She did a video on her own, and we'll be attaching it to this video.
And inserting it.
Yeah, so you'll see her face, hopefully, if everything goes as planned. It'll all work out. So anyway, so she was very busy this weekend and couldn't be here Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. She couldn't.
She got her weekends mixed up, and so we were going to film earlier this week, and then she's like, "No, it was this week. I have to do it." And I'm like, "Okay, well."
Yeah. So anyway, so
here's her video right here.
Yeah.
Hi there. Thanks so much for being patient with us in our little disjointed video this week. My job and life has just kind of squeezed out everything else. So for this week, we're just doing these little, I'm doing a little remote job here. This is my dream box. This is where I store, I won't say all, but most of my stuff. I've got yarn and fiber storage here that I'm spinning. And these two panels open up. I'll show you that. For more storage. You would think that with all this storage I could store everything I have, but I still have lots of overflow. And if you're curious, this says, perhaps this is the moment for which you have been created, from Esther 4:14. And then that side says, today I will be happier than a bird with a French fry. So I like those decals, so I put them up on the sides of my dream box there. And there's a little table here. I'm not going to show it to you because it's very messy. But so I can sit here with this overhead light and work and stuff like that. So I love it. I got it, I don't know how many years ago. Probably around 2020, I guess. So what I've been working on this week is, I was working on Hannah's sweater still. And I did a few more rows. But I discovered, I need to really measure it and decide what I want to do. But I think that the gauge in this part of the sweater is different than in this part of the sweater. And it really upsets me, and I'm not sure what to do about it. So I kind of was like, I'm going to put this on hold for a minute until I can really have some time to think it through. I think that my gauge got tighter when I went into this area up here. And actually, you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see on camera, but there's some puckers in the floats, which is the colors that's going behind the knitted color. So I don't I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know. I can't imagine I'm going to frog it. I think I might go ahead and keep working on it, but it was very discouraging. So, I'm still waiting for yarn for the new sweater that I want to make, but I decided, you know what, I still need knitting. Didn't feel comfortable about that sweater, so I brought out this shawl. This is the Ocotillo shawl by Terry Neal, who is the owner of Tempe Yarn and Fiber. It's hard to see on this side. This is a brioche shawl. You can see the brioche like flowers. It actually really shows up better on the, what I call the wrong side, the brown. So it's a 2-color work in brioche stitching. And so this side, the blue shows through in these flowers. And on this side, what I deemed the contrast color, but is turning out to be more pronounced, is this brown. And here's the balls of yarn. These are both hand dyed by Terry Neal. This one is called Dragon's Eye, and then this, of course, this tonal brown, which is nice. It's got lights and darks, and this does have red. You'll see like a little strike of red in there. It's called Dragon's Eye, which and it's got like a dark, very, 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 very dark blue or black and then all these mix of blues. But the red doesn't show up till a particular point. And I thought it was going to be a little different, more of a fade, but it's really more of a speckle, and so it's not showing the blue really the way I wanted. There's a lot more white a lot sooner than I thought. So anyway, it'll be nice. It'll still be cool. The brioche stitch isn't as striking as I had hoped on this side, as it is on this side. But it doesn't matter. I still like the color combo. I think it'll go really nice. It's a huge shawl, and I think it'll go really nicely with jeans and kind of a casual, as I call it, a restaurant shawl, because here the air conditioner is so cold all the time. And the other thing I've been working on is I did pick up my calendar again, my temperature chart. This is all of January done. I still obviously am behind February and March, but I did get most of January done. I mean, I got all of January done. So I felt accomplished in that. And this table is really good for cross stitch. And then I did work more on my diamond painting. I've just been working on the bottom here of my gnomes that I got for, I think it's for Christmas. I got this from Rachel. So that's what I've been doing in between my very busy job. Today I'm going to work a double concert, and it will be day 7 in a row. So I'm tired. I'm very, very tired. Oh gosh. So I had this funny, one little quick story, funny exchange with one of my patrons. I have to read it to you because it's just, I want to make sure I get it right. Just one moment. Sorry. Okay. So I was calling about our wait list for a concert called Il Divo. We had a huge wait list. And I called and I said, "Hi, I'm Naomi. I'm calling about our Il Divo wait list." And the gentleman says, "In Divo waitress? What is that?" And I said, "No, Il Divo. We have you on our list for 2 seats." And he says, "TC? What is that about?" I said, "No, 2 seats. We have that you want 2 seats for Il Divo." And he says to his wife, "We didn't buy tickets for Il Divo, did we?" And I said, "No, sir. We have that you're on our wait list because you wanted 2 seats for this concert." And he's like, "When is the wait list for?" I said, "It's this Thursday." He goes, "Well, we're going to the theater." And I was like, I'm hanging up. I'm like, "And you need hearing aids, I think." So that's kind of like, I don't know. It was just such a distillation of how my days go sometimes. But it was very funny. So I am off to do a double show today, and we will be back together next week. Probably I have 2 doubles as well next week. 2 on Thursday, 2 on Friday. So, 2 on Thursday, 2 on Saturday again next week, but probably we're going to get together on next Friday. So next week you'll see us all back together again, and things will be back to normal. Thanks for bearing with me, and I will see you again next week. Bye.
Okay.
So otherwise, though, we are going to talk about a few things.
So Beth is going to go first.
Yes. I did finish my bear. I was very close to finishing, and I last Saturday, and I finished it Sunday or Monday. But so there, it's all finished. So I've finished all 3 of this group. The sun's shining through there. The raccoon, the ferret, and the bear. This is, I think, 4, 5, and 6 of this series. Yeah, 4, 5, and 6. And right now I'm working on, since this is the only one of the set of 12, the only 3 set that I finished. Right now I'm working on the border, this little border that I just sort of, charted out to to go with each set of 3, and I, in doing so, I, when I first came up with it, I was very careful about trying to figure out, how many stitches it would have to be each direction, because I wanted it to be like 1 stitch off from the finished edge of the design, right? So it wouldn't butt up against it. And so I found that the border between these 2 designs is, it's going to be off by 1 stitch on one way or the other, because I put like 3 basically instead of 2 spaces in between there. So this one has an extra space in it. And then over here, when I started it, it's also off by 1, but in the other direction. So it butts right up against the ferret here, right up against his rear end, and right up against these little fronds here. It's correct on this side, but incorrect on this side. And so I've gotten all the way over here to go down, but also one thing I had to do was add another stitch here so that it wouldn't be up against these. So yeah, I'm finding some little errors, and I haven't gone all the way down on these 2 yet, because I don't know if I'm going to have to add an extra stitch or not, so I'm working my way across the bottom. But anyway, so I did finish the bear. So these 3 are all done, which is quite an accomplishment, since there are 12 designs in this set and this series, and
She was drooling over the next series.
yeah. So these are the 3, the raccoon, the ferret, and the bear. 4, 5, and 6 of 12 designs. This is by Cottage Garden Samplings. So, since I finished that earlier in the week, I have my 2 new starts for WIP-GO, only one of which I started, because I'm still very chicken. So this is a punch needle kit that I bought at Christmas time, this little snowman here. And so you do the punch needle on the face, and then there's, a wooden shape for the hat, and some sticky felt stuff for all the design elements on the hat, except for the pom-poms. I think you're supposed to glue those on. And then there's a little piece of jute to make a hanger. So it's supposed to be like not exactly an ornament, but kind of a decoration, I guess. It's a little big for an ornament.
It's a hanger.
Yeah. But so anyway, I did do the face, and
You're showing the wrong side.
no, I'm not. I'll get to that in a second. So I did the face because this is what the other side looks like.
I know.
It's
That's the
no.
finish. That's the side you're
No.
supposed to show.
No, not necessarily. I'll explain it in a second. So then there's not an outline for the face, but I think I'm gonna come up with a shaped something so I can pencil in the border, so that, because it's just kind of like amorphous, the design here. So you just keep going until you're can't go any further, I guess, or something. But so I wanted to look up some tutorials on punch needle to sort of refresh my memory and reassure myself that I was doing things right. And I found that there are basically 2 schools of thought, or 2 approaches to doing punch needle. There is what we see in Punch Needle and Permanent Stitcher magazine, where the design is reversed, right? So if you have the word spring, when you're punching it, you're going to trace it to do it on punch needle, so the words are backwards in the design, right? And so you punch them, and you're punching from the back of the fabric, and so your design is like a ruggy finish when you turn it over, right? And so the design is the loops that you punch through, right? And so there's that way. And I saw a video, a DMC video, and with a punch needle, and it's basically like an embroidery finish, right? So the design was like a stem and leaves and berries, and it was all like the stem was, there was just a line, and the leaves were the outline, and then you did the berries, you filled it in, right? And so the back side of it was long loops, but the front was the finished side. And then also there were a couple of tutorials with yarn designs. And like I saw one video where this woman's, she and her husband, I guess, had an Etsy shop or something, and they sold these little kits, punch needle kits. And so she punched on monk's cloth, which was like, it's like Ada cloth, only bigger, I guess.
I have some.
Yeah. And she used a pretty good sized punch needle, and she used yarn. And so, I guess in this kit that they sold, they had like stencils, and you could draw on the fabric using this stencil to draw the pattern, and then you would punch the stencil. And so she would punch using yarn, and the finished punch was the front. I mean, the part she was punching, right? And the back was all the long loops. So this was the unfinished side, and this was the finished side. And so when I was watching that, I was confused, because I'm used to what we see in Punch Needle and Parent Stitcher magazine and other things like that, where the finished side is the loopy side, and the unfinished side is the side you punch, right? But I discovered that, like with yarn, it's kind of the other way, right? The other ones I saw, so that the shorter yarn bits of finished are on this side and not this side. So I mean, you could finish it on this side if you wanted to, I guess. But to me, it's
Well,
because
when
it's
you
so
put the white in, it becomes more defined.
yeah. But yeah, I'm not. So this is the side that's going to be finished. So like I said, that there's kind of two approaches to it. So just depending on how you want to do it, but also like I have a punch needle that I bought because I was thinking I was going to learn to punch needle, and this kit, of course, comes with a little needle, but these needles are these bigger bore because they're made to use with yarn, as opposed to the you can get the kind with the different size needles and all that, depending on how many threads you use, but they're designed to use like embroidery floss, like DMC or Fancy Floss or whatever. So you'll use, the design will say, oh, use 1 thread or 3 threads or whatever in your needle, and so that'll determine like what size of the needle you use in the punch needles that have various different sizes. But this is the one that came with the kit, and it's designed for yarn, and so it's a big bore, and it's very gigantic, but so I do want to draw the outline of the face so that I have a sort of a defined place, like this is the edge of the face, and we go in from there, rather than just like being amorphous and going out into anywhere. So anyway, so I have yet to finish the face, but I did all of this in like one day. So the face should probably only take me a day to do it. I just quit because I wanted to, like I said, draw that face on there. So then the other new start I have is still my crochet kit, and I still don't know really how to do it. I took it out of the box, and I was looking at the instructions, and I'm like, this is Greek to me. I don't understand any of it. So I'm going to have somebody help me. So that's all I know how to do.
I offered last night. She's like, No,
Not yet. No, I don't want to do it right now.
She has till the end of the month.
Yeah. So
And
like I
you just need to start it. You don't need
yeah,
to finish
yeah,
it.
yeah. Um, so I did. So those are my 2 new starts for the month, right? But so I did the punch needle for a day or 2, and actually because the fabric is was taught and is taught or whatever, and it was difficult to punch that needle through the fabric and that yarn, and I kind of had to do some things a couple of times because it was coming out yucky or whatever. And so after I was doing it for a while, I was like, my arm is really killing me. Yeah, so I think I would probably enjoy punch needle more with working with floss instead of with thick yarn or whatever, and with a smaller needle or whatever, and on the weaver's cloth that you usually use for that sort of thing. I think I would enjoy it a little more than this, but remains to be seen. Anyway, so like I said, I worked on that for a day or 2. And then I decided to work some more on, I just wanted to get back to cross stitching. So I decided to work more on this. This is the Winter Woods Biscornu by the Blue Flower. So I worked on that a little more. And when I worked on it last time, let me make sure I have this up right. That's not right. Up right there. I had finished this corner where the owl is, and I had finished this this animal here. This is the fox. This is an owl. This is another animal. Weasel. The weasel. This is the weasel. The one that's down here is a lynx. The one that's missing is a lynx. So this is the weasel.
The missing links.
Yeah. But so I finished all the green on the trees. So I did this corner here. I did the trees and the leaves, and there's a bird there. And I did these berries, and I did more squirrels, this squirrel right here, and all that. So all that's left really is this. I had not done, because I had discovered, the error that I made over here. So I have not done, there's a bare branch here like these that goes from this corner up into this here, and then a couple of trees. And then all the little details, and that links, the big links goes in here. So that I have left, but I did do the border all the way around, so that hopefully I won't make another mistake. So I could start in this, because the mistake that I made with all of these was going from the middle. I did the first one, and then I went out, from there, from the middle, out toward the corner. And that was where my mistake was, because somewhere in there I miscalculated a stitch or 2, and then it, basically threw everything off. So this one I'm going to start in the corner and do that branch outward and all that. So hopefully I'll avoid some of that mistake. But anyway, I just did more of this because I had a few extra days. And so I want to finish the border on the Year in the Woods pattern, so that it'll be completely fully finished stitching, and then maybe I'll do some more stitching on this if I have time. So then the other thing I did a little bit of fabric dyeing last weekend. We talked about the fabrics that Eve and I dyed. We did a video showing the dyeing that we did, and this is 28 count Monaco. These are all 28 counts. So this is
Excuse me, Ben. I'm sorry about the dog noise, but it is really hot, so I don't want to put the dogs out and
Yeah.
not be cognizant of how long they're out there.
Yeah, so they're
So-
fussing around.
I'm sorry.
So this is 28 count Lugana, Monaco Lugana. This is a 20 by 24 inch piece. This is a 28 count linen, and this is a 20 by 24 inch piece. And then this is a 28 count even weave, and it's a 14 by 18 inch piece. So these are all bluishes. This is a little purpley, but you know, blue. And then I did, this weekend also, I did I dyed another piece of 28 count Monaco, and this is another 20 by 24 piece. So these are larger pieces. This was a little bit darker than the the Western Woods Biscornu fabric. There's a little bit of purple in there.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so it's actually
it's-
indigo, I think, is
You
what I
can see
used.
it better once you folded it in half.
Yeah.
'cause
But
of the
so,
sun.
so I dyed this fabric because of my Nashville patterns came in, and then we also went to the attic, and because there was another pattern that I wanted that I had not ordered at the time. So anyway, so among these fabrics, I'm going to choose some of them for all I think all or most of the Nashville patterns that I have. I might have to use some other ones. But I placed my order with Top Knot Stitcher. And the reason I did was because I was looking for, excuse me one second, I'm trying to get these out because I don't want to forget that I have them here. I was looking for this item, which is a pufferfish needle winder. And I found it on her, it was, I think I got a newsletter or something like that, that had this little pufferfish needle minder. And so it was on her website. So there was that, and then there was this Nautilus shell thread keep, right? So this is all part of her Under the Sea.
It only has 4 because there was only 4
Yeah.
threads.
It's part of her Under the Sea promotional stuff. So I found those on her website, so I just went ahead and ordered the patterns from her website. But I also ordered this little project bag that says Beneath the Waves. It's part of the whole, series of stuff. So it's a little box bottom on the bottom end, and it's nice and smallish for these small designs. I put those in there. But she also had like some sticker stuff. She had like a little sticker sheet that I ordered, and specifically a Beneath the Waves sticker here. And the sticker sheet has like some of the, like there's a whale and a jellyfish and an anglerfish. Some of those that are all in these, some of these patterns. And then there's just a whole bunch of, I saw these as I took it out, there's just a whole bunch of Beneath the Waves stickers. So, so I have those. And so I have the Cottage Garden Threads Under the Sea set here. Citrus Sea Change, Sizzler, and Mariana are the names of the threads there. So I had ordered all those, and then I ordered several of the Under the Sea patterns. Let me separate these because this is the stuff I bought at the attic. So, Top Knot Stitcher also sent like I'm just gonna flash these here.
I have this
Yeah.
one, and I have the cover for, not that one, but that one.
Okay. So these are freebies that were offered on the email. She said, she was going to include any freebies that were there at Nashville. So there's this one, Precious in His Sight by Silver Creek Samplers. It says, anyone who welcomes a small child such as this in my name also does the same to me. And then there's also by Shaded Stitchery, a design called Bloom and Breathe. That's this one. So these are little freebies. And then also in the Under the Sea series, I guess.
It's this.
Yeah, the blue flower set.
Which, I'll show you a big picture.
Yeah, this blue ringed octopus, and then the Stitch Crypt has citrus sea turtle. Yeah, so those are freebies that Top Knot Stitcher included. And so the things I ordered were the Tiny Modernist Midnight Ocean, and this is by Top Knot Stitcher, Jam in the Jellies.
Look at the kitty
There's
cat.
Yeah, there's a kitty cat in the submarine.
Because kitty cats love to be in submarines.
With a little looking out the window, and there's a whole bunch of jellyfish. And then by the Stitch Crypt, this is Deep Sea Dumbo. It's a little octopus. And then by Quirky Quaker, Anglerfish. I like the other anglerfish also, and I'm
It was over there at the attic, and I almost got it.
Yeah, I'm a little ambivalent, but I might go ahead and get it. And then 2 ink circles charts. One is whale shark, and the other is gone fishing. And there's a cat in a scuba suit swimming in the water with a bunch of fish and stuff. Yeah. So those 2. And then this one is Sea Turtle Cove by Blueberry Ridge Design. So there's that one. And there's the sea turtle and the jellyfish and the fish in the sea. And then one of the designs I was trying to be frugal, trying desperately. And so I had made a list of all the designs I really liked, and I crossed this off and that off. And I went with just Beneath the Waves designs. But then I had eliminated this one, or maybe I didn't see it, I don't remember. I think I had eliminated it, but this is by Robin Pickens Cross Stitch, Fish Friends, and there's 2 designs here included. There's one called Coral Hide and Seek, and the other called Fish School. So these 2 designs here, I bought these at the attic yesterday. So there's the Coral Hide and Seek, and there's the Fish Friends. And then another one that I had thought about buying, and I bought it late, yesterday at the attic. And this is by Plum Street Samplers, Freedom Flock. I have a few of these little animal stacks. I love all of them, but I'm like, okay, don't buy them all. but this one I like for the 250th anniversary. So yeah, there's like a little baby eaglet on top up here, a little baby eaglet, and then two bigger eagles here. So I bought that, and then one of the ones I really, really wanted is Glory in the Wind. Like I said, I kind of talked myself out of spending a lot of money, but this was, one that I instantly regretted that I had not bought. So when we were, this is what I went to the attic to look for, was this chart here. And, just hoping that they had it, that they weren't sold out or whatever. So fortunately, they did have it. So this is it's beautiful. So yeah, this is another one. This is by Robin Pickens also. Yeah, Glory in the Wind. I really like that. And so for that, and for some of these other charts, I picked up a bunch of Weeks threads, even though some of them, like this parchment, I think I'm pretty sure I have it. But there's this one is White Lightning, and Blue Heron I'm pretty sure I have also, but I went ahead and got it. Oh no, I did not. I looked for it, but I didn't get it after all. This is
You didn't get it after all? You didn't have it after all?
no, I didn't get it. I think I do have it. I didn't. Thought about getting it, but I did not. Blue Coat Blue and Liberty. This is White Lightning, and this one is Navy. Oops, Navy. And then, like I said, parchment I think I have, but I just want to make sure that because I don't know how much I have, or whatever. So I bought these threads, and they were actually some that because I was looking at like the the backs of these to see what threads were required, and they were like, I think for 2 or 3 that I was looking for that they were out of, that they didn't have. So I'll probably be ordering those from somewhere in the future. So I think that is me. That's all of my stuff.
Okay. I also have a big stack of stuff. Right now, I am working on crochet because I haven't been doing these as much as I had promised myself. This is a hollyhock, which we had them in our backyard, and they were terrifying because the bees loved the hollyhocks.
Yeah.
And the pattern is on the back of these, and part of the problem is that sometimes it's like really little. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the others of these. This is how much I have done so far of this, and probably since I'm talking now, I won't get a lot further done than I am now. I'm going to show you the other crochet that I have, which I have more unbelievable amount of stuff. I have this, and I don't remember what flower it is, but ain't pretty.
Sorry.
And this one was the one that I was just like, because I could not get it to work. And I finally went, I don't know if this is right, but it's done. And I finished my bag. It has this cording. It's not cording. It's
The handle?
It's crochet, but it's literally just a single crochet, a chain.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the whole bag. It's huge. And I'm still considering putting a liner in it because being a granny square, it's got some pretty big holes in it. But it depends on what I decide to use it for as to whether or not it would need a lining. And if I wanted to put a lining in it, honestly, I would have to borrow Naomi's sewing machine because I'm not going to, oops, my phone. I'm not going to, too much crud. What is the word I want to use? I'm not going to hand stitch that. I could, but so I'm continuing to plug away at the red, white, and bloom. And, I don't like to make fun of people that get English wrong. And sometimes you read stuff and you're like, surely somebody in your business can read. But I only speak one language. I know bits of 3 languages, but I only speak one language. And so they got it better than I do. So But every time I look at this, I go, it's so bad. Anyway, this is how far I am.
Oh, you put in more.
Yeah, a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do 2 or 3 a day. Trying. Some days it's only 2 or 2.5, you know, but I figured out that if I put in 3 a day, by July 4th, it'll be done or close to done.
Mm.
And will it be framed and up on the wall? No. but it'll be done or close to done. And I did do a new start. This is Cross Stitching for Fun, Art Deco Spring, and they are sunflower cross stitch on Etsy. And I didn't do a whole lot, but this is how much I have done. No.
Did you start in the middle?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I'm not doing the outside border, so.
Mm.
I went to go look for this pattern that we're going to give away. And I went through my box of finished things, and I'm like, why am I worried about finishing everything that I just finished when I have a whole box full of finished things that need to be FFO'd? Because out of sight, out of mind. And I need to FFO all those. Some of those have been finished for over a year. Over 2 years. Some 3. So I did work on temperature pets. I mentioned briefly that it is hot. It's over 100 already.
Mm-hmm.
We have been breaking records left and right here in Arizona. In Yuma, day before yesterday, it was the hottest recorded temperature in March in the U.S. And it wasn't that much cooler here. So here's my little dog who's already red. And if it doesn't start cooling down, it's going to be red until September. So, yeah. It's been between 101 and 105 for the last couple of days. In Yuma, it was hotter. Yuma's always hotter than here. I did a tiny bit more work on We Do Geek, and I'm considering asking Robert if I can eliminate this and then just go to We Don't Care What Others Think.
Mm.
To eliminating the Firefly reference, because none of us have ever watched that, so.
Firefly?
Mm-hmm.
With
Nathan Fillion.
Oh yeah, I've watched that a
I
bazillion
haven't.
times.
I haven't. If I can't figure out how to finish it in, because it starts at "We are loyal and passionate big damn heroes who aim to misbehave."
Mm-hmm.
It has that, so you have to put in all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be tight,
Mm.
really tight. If I don't tighten up the spacing in between, it won't fit at all.
Mm.
So, which really saddens me because I could have been tightening it all along because there are big spaces in between. So here I am working some more on the green. I am working on an O for odds. And the odds are ever in our favor. Let's see, I only have a little over 5 inches and it'll take 5.5 or something. So, yeah. Yeah, sad. Okay, I thought I was going to have another finish, Moonlit Moth, but I really dislike the way the moon was coming out. The moon is part of what makes this so beautiful. And I was trying so hard to get that to look right. And I was looking at the pattern, and then when I was working on the wings, I was like, this can't be right. And so I looked at the wings and I went, oh. So then I looked at the moon and I went, ah. Because I could have done it differently. So I'm frogging the moon all the way down to here. I'm going to leave this little tip, but I'm going to frog it all the way back to here. But since I have this blue shiny in there, it's a nightmare to frog, because I put that on top. But it was working on this moth tip that got me to go, okay, I get it now. So I'd rather frog it and not hate it and not go, well, that's good enough. Because there's no point in finishing it if I'm not going to like it, not with as much work as I've put into it already. So I have included shiny threads on every single color. I was at the attic and they helped me get these blending filaments. The name escapes me right now, but it is really shiny. And the blue that goes in the moon is very shiny. So I want to get it out and pluck it out there, or I might end up cutting it. I'm telling you, it's annoying. But I'm cutting the shiny thread. I'm not cutting this blue thread. But that is the Threadworks thread from last year's Stitch the Rainbow. So my market pieces this year, I have this free pattern, America Berry by Erica Michaels, and I don't have a neutral, and I bought fabric for something else yesterday, and I didn't want to go ahead and buy another neutral. I don't do a lot of neutrals. They don't appeal to me. So the only thing I really do neutrals for is for the Big Awesome Produce. So I have a neutral, but I'm going to use it on a different berry. And I decided that this beautiful blue, because I needed a 32 count, that this beautiful blue would be awesome with this berry. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Look pretty with that.
Yep.
I think it'll look nice. I have to look at threads. I'm going to use the, for anything I don't have, I'm going to use the DMC alternative. This is a free pattern, and I didn't think to look for any of the threads when I was at the attic. Now I also have the free pattern by the Blue Flower, this one that I showed you on my phone.
It's a blue ringed octopus.
The blue ringed octopus. I also have
Can you
that.
see the picture? Because when I got the freebie, I was like, I don't know what, I can't make sense
You can't
of that.
tell. You can't tell what it looks like.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use half of this. I dyed this. This is the same fabric that I dyed for the winter berry. Winter Art Deco winter. So that's what I'm going to stick that on. So half of this will be used for this freebie pattern, and the other half will be used for this freebie pattern, which is by Stitch Crypt, and it's called Citrus Sea Turtle. And if you have this freebie pattern, there is a correction to the color key. So I would give it to you now, but look it up.
Yeah.
And you can find it on Stitch the Rainbow Facebook page. She posted it there. And what I wanted when I was dyeing fabric, I dyed this and I was like, it's too red to use for this. I love the color, don't get me wrong. But
Yeah, there's
it's too red.
yeah.
So I bought some more of this 10 count Tula to use for my berry. Now, because the berry, when it says big awesome produce, this should say huge awesome.
Gigantic.
Because I need a piece that is basically, I think 15 by 15 or 16 by 16. I mean, it's huge. But I promised myself that I would not start this until I finish the berry, which I'm about halfway done. But the rest of it, as soon as I finish the rabbits, the rest of it is just those carrots and back stitching. So I'll find something appropriate for this. It's beautiful. It's 11 count, so I'll find something I can blow up. You know those tiny little Native American pottery things?
Mm-hmm.
One of them would look good on that, and it would make it bigger because they were really tiny.
Mm-hmm.
So this is another pattern that I got from Nashville, that my order, Beach Quaker, designed by Lindsay Wright. This is Primrose Cottage. And
and that's not part of the under the sea.
it's
thing,
not
is it?
part of the Under the Sea,
But it's very beachy.
but it's very beachy. And I had this, which was kind of a off blue,
I almost bought this one. Oh.
and I dunked it in some dye to give it a little bit of modeling. This is part of the fabrics that
Oh, is that for the grab bag?
Uh-huh.
The stitch bag?
this is part of the fabrics. This is part of one of the Adas that my friend Vicky gifted to us, and I just dunked it quickly in some dye to give it a little bit of modeling to make it look more like water for this. As I said, I don't have a lot of neutrals, and I think this will look pretty on that. So now the moth, I did not mention that it's by Counting Puddles. I purchased 2 Counting Puddles patterns, and both of them have specialty stitches on it. So I'm going to have to really, really, really look at the picture and the pattern, and the picture and the pattern, and the picture and the pattern, just to make sure I get it right. So this piece of fabric doesn't have a lot of modeling except in like half of it. But this piece of fabric, I will divide into 4 pieces, and one will be used, 1/4 of it will be used on Bubble Seahorse by Counting Puddles. I fell in love with this the second I saw it. It's so cute.
I may have to steal that and stitch it myself too.
And then 1/4 of it will be used on Anchored Tails. Oh my gosh, so adorable. This is by Stitchy Pros.
I'm
And
gonna have to steal that one also.
and so when Robert was very, very young, I had a what's it called when you belong to the zoo? A membership. I had a membership for our zoo, and they had this wonderful aquarium. The membership would work for the aquarium, the botanical gardens, and the zoo. And in the aquarium, they had this beautiful seahorse exhibit, and you could see them up close, and they were so cute. And that's what this reminds me of. I can't wait to stitch this. I will wait. but I'm excited. And then also by Stitchy Pros, I got Tentacles Below. So she has one octopus and I have another one. These were wonderful patterns, and I love ocean stuff, as I've mentioned before. So I was like, I'm doomed. And then Crescent Crab by Fine Frog Stitching. I couldn't remember the name. Fine Frog Stitching is back here. I could have read it back here. This crab, he looks really simple, but the face gets me.
Yeah, I almost bought that one also. Like I said, I made a big list.
Yeah, so, and some of these, they include the DMC alternative, others don't, but I'm sure you can find DMC alternatives if you don't want to get that. I forgot that I bought these threads for my big goose. I have a lot of pearl cotton. Some they were out of that I didn't have, but that's okay. I can use 4 strands of, and these I bought for the beach pattern. I meant to show them at the time I showed that. Now, the other Counting Puddles pattern. I fell in love.
Dogs.
Excuse me. So I fell in love with this the moment I saw it. And Beth is like, if you don't buy it, I might have to buy it. And I'm like, I shouldn't buy this thing. You know, it's not tiny, but it's not huge. It's 122 by 180. And I'm like, oh, all those specialty stitches. I'm fighting with the specialty stitches on the Moonlit Moth. But, I mean, this is a stunner. And I wanted to put it on that dark charcoal, not black. I have black. But I decided to dye some fabric, and neither one came out dark enough. This one is, and look how crooked I cut it. And I could have sworn I cut it straight. But when I ironed it, it came out wrong. This is 16 count Ada, and I dyed it charcoal, and it's brown. And this is also 16 count Ada, and I dyed it pearl gray, and it is a beautiful gray color, but they're both way too light. So I may dunk one of these in another mixture of the charcoal gray with maybe a splash of dark blue or purple to darken it more. And I think if it's already charcoal, it'll get darker. So, but I saw some slate gray fabric at the attic, and I might have bought it, but it was a little bit too small. But I can't start this anytime soon anyway, so, you know, the fabric is, you know, I love the color of this charcoal, of this pearl gray one, but it's just not dark enough. So, we'll see. A dilemma. I may have to break down and buy charcoal gray fabric, but that's $30 and...
Well, I once tried to, like I said, I tried to dye some charcoal fabric and it came out almost black. So it's just a matter of how much dye and how long you let it sit in there to darken it up.
I think I probably did not put enough color in there because you warned me about it. And
yeah, it's easy to go, a little too dark, because I showed a couple of designs on here that I did a couple of years ago that are stitching with the housewives designs, because I had originally dyed a piece of linen to to do the Tiny Modernist Sleepy Hollow set on, and it has, of course, a lot of black in it because there's all, it's a Halloweenish kind of pattern. And so I was originally going to dye this piece of fabric with like gray and purple and stuff like that on there, and I put too much of the gray in my little dye bath, whatever, and the fabric came out very black. And I couldn't use it because of all the black in the thing. So I ended up, I dyed another piece of fabric, and it was a little bit more like that color. So yeah, it's because I was thinking, do I have black dye? I don't think I do. I think I have just the charcoal. And like I said, depending on the fabric also, some fabrics take the color differently than others. But that charcoal definitely will darken it.
Exactly the same height, and they're not. It's very strange. Fabric does weird things when you dye it. Yeah. So we have a giveaway,
Yes.
and so there's 2 chances to win. Daisy May by Stitching with the Housewives.
One is a brand new pattern, and one is a past the stash pattern. So
Yeah.
but yeah.
Well, she may have stitched this already. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, I no longer had the little plastic bag that this came in. I'm sure I do have it. I just have other things in it.
So we had 3 people, I guess, that that signed up for this. So I have the 3 names on this decision roulette, and you ready to spin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
I don't have a pen. I do have a
it's
pen.
Radiante and Barb Wordsmith and Mary Passmore are the 3 names. And the first one goes to Mary Passmore.
Okay, let me write that down somewhere. Mary, I think I have your address. If not,
Please just go ahead and send it.
yeah, to send it through 3 Sisters down below. The email address is below.
Okay, and let me. Oops, wait. That's not what I meant. Well, I had it right here.
She'll call it back
Sorry.
up in a sec.
Okay, I don't want to edit it because I want to take Mary Passmore's name out of there. Here, okay. So now it's between Barb Wordsmith and Radiante. So here we go. Spinning. Spinning, 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 spinning. And it goes to Barb Wordsmith.
Okay, Barb. Send us your address, and we'll get that out to you.
All right, well, thanks for playing along. For joining the giveaway. And
Yeah. Do you have any other than the heat? any stories for this week? Pretty much nothing has happened to us this week. We haven't gone anywhere. I haven't been working, and we've just been kind of doing. We did go to the storage unit to pick up, try to get some stuff out of the storage unit. It was so hot. It was so hot. So every time we thought about it this week, we were like, I'm really not feeling it.
Yeah, and one of the things we brought back were all my winter clothes now that it's nice and hot.
But now she can give back my sweater.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, as I say, it's been a little. Sometimes it gets a little cool in the house because the air conditioner's on now, and so I'll be like in my room stitching away, and I'm like, I'm freezing. but at the same time, it's so hot outside. That like other times I'm especially like if when I go to sleep, when I wake up in the morning, I'm roasting hot. So yeah, it's kind of hard to find that sort of happy medium. But now I have all my winter clothes, so it's a good thing and a bad thing. But one thing I really missed was my sweats. I have like just to chill out and relax or whatever. I was like, I know I have more. Like I have one pair of pants that were like I guess technically they're like workout pants, stretchy pants, and I'm wearing them all the time now because all my junky sweats or whatever were boxed up and put away. So it's nice to have them out, even though it's not not chilly cold anymore. And there's a few other things in there that are that were I think nicer things, whatever, that just got boxed up, because I was very short-sighted about how long it would take us to sell the house. But
If I'd known how long
Yeah.
it would take us to sell the house, I would not have packed anything. I would have told him,
yeah,
Deal
so
with it.
bad, too bad.
yeah. That way we would have moved all of our stuff at once. Okay, so, because
Yeah.
long stories.
Anyway.
Yeah, but that's really the only thing we did this week.
Yeah, because it's been like spring break, for all the schools and even the orchestra I was in, I'm in, because it's part of a community college, and so they were on spring break this past week. So we sort of had like nothing, no appointments, no nothing to do. So yeah, just St. Patrick's shakes to buy or whatever.
So
Is that
the only
everything?
other thing that's happened is that there was this restaurant that Beth and I wanted to visit. It's I think South American, but Mexican
yeah.
restaurant, and
It's
it was
Salvadoran.
yeah. And they were in the same
There's
parking lot
It's a little corner parking lot.
Of a gin mill that got bought up by somebody.
Yeah.
And
There were four businesses in this little corner lot area. There's one thing, it's basically an old historical building called the Big Tin Cotton Gin was the name of this building. They used it as an event space, basically.
and they tried to save it.
But there was that, and there was a place called Ammo Coffee. It's a little coffee shop, and then this rock
curio
boutique,
shop.
that sold like rocks and gems and I don't know what all. And then Maritza's Pupusas was the other business, and we kept joking about, oh yeah, we need to try Maritza's Pupusas, but we were always like seeing it on our way to somewhere else because it was on this little corner. And then I had read that,
We kept hearing in the news about the fight trying to save because it was a historic building, to
The
try to
cotton
save
gin.
the cotton gin building. But the guy that bought the property was like, no, I want to put, I don't know what he wants to put there, probably housing units, something. And there's a big, huge under construction lot across the street from it. So maybe it's owned by the same person. Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows? But so all of those businesses had to vacate, and it's so sad because they were small businesses. And it's so hard for small businesses to find a spot. That restaurant, I don't know about the curio shop or the coffee shop or even the cotton gin. I know that when they were having events, that parking lot was packed, so people were going. But that restaurant was always busy. And And so I hope that they were able to find another, that
Yeah.
all of these businesses were able to find another space that they could afford. I mean, it's so sad. And I understand that this guy bought this property and he wants to use this property and it's his property, and I get that. But small businesses need to be supported because, you know, we don't want all of the businesses. I love McDonald's. Obviously, I love McDonald's, right? But McDonald's is a huge corporation, but it's it has individual. Each one is owned by a businessman of that area. Yes, they're all run the same way, but you need to support small business. You know.
Yeah. So anyway, we're hoping
that was
that
the only
we'll,
other thing.
Yeah, we're hoping that we see them cropping up somewhere else. The Big Tin Cotton Gin. That was a unique place. So, even if the owners find another place to do an event space, it's not going to be the same thing as this historic building. But the other businesses, we hope will find another place that they can set up. Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
Anyway, on that sad note, we shall go ahead and sign off.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, I don't even know how Naomi signs off.
So anyway, that's all we have
That's everything.
for this team. And so we will see you next week. Right?
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Turn.
I'm trying to find it.